In our previous conversation, we talked about following up with people who do not respond to your first message on LinkedIn, email, whatever it is. Can you
Mhm.
please talk about that again? Because your advice has already landed me more people to learn from and connect with. So, I mean, it definitely works.
I think, well, first of all, I'm glad to hear that. Second of all, I think a lot of students and young professionals and myself made the mistake of seeing LinkedIn differently than what you ought to see it as. So in some ways, right, it feels very toxic. It feels very this against that. It feels very like I'm showing off what I'm worth. I'm telling you what I've done, and maybe you haven't done as much as I have. That kind of environment, right? In the beginning, I was like, oh wow, it's really an opportunity for me to see what people have done, not see their trajectories, see if I'm suitable for this kind of work, right? That's been an interesting one. I started LinkedIn when I was really young, like grade 10, grade 9, in high school. So I think I gradually, as I saw more students on LinkedIn, I saw it like in a as a platform for you to build relationships. And COVID is the magical transition point that disrupted this whole thing, in my opinion. And the proneness, like propensity of people accepting messages and interested to build relationships to support students and young people is exponentially higher now. I genuinely believe that. So what that translates to like you being a student or high school, university, doesn't matter, college, um, is you should take some active steps in creating relationships. Now, I didn't say connections because the connections on the LinkedIn doesn't serve you well. It serves you well if you were to take it off LinkedIn on a Zoom, on a what would be a coffee chat, right? But a Google Hangouts, and you maintain that relationship for the years to come. So basically, you create a profile of yourself that's decent enough, and then you try to create customize a message for people who you aspire um, to become in the work that they do. Not necessarily them, but the positions that you think may be of interest to you. And take a bold step in reaching out to people that you may just find interest in their work, but not necessarily want to be them. So taking these steps, just having conversations. So my basic gist is treat it as you would treat like Tinder or Bumble before COVID, but take the dates on Zoom. So that what that involves, right? That sounds ludicrous, but like what that involves is doing your due diligence and researching what that person is interested in and what he or she or they do, and then demonstrate a genuine interest in why you're committed, um, to learning more. And if you're yourself, that you come up really genuine and you have something to offer as well, just like how you would on a date, you have an opportunity to create relationships that really gives you dividends in the long run, whatever it is you want. Jobs, roles, internships, people to consider you for opportunities that serves you well. And so I think the lack of in-person engagements doesn't necessarily mean less opportunity to grow on a